Hope I'm audible, I'm visible. Are you able to hear me? Please reply. Okay, so we are starting the classes. So we'll be starting with the medieval India. So in this lecture, this is like an first section is like an introductory section. We'll be discussing what all the things you have to study and which all the books you have to refer. This is one of the most common confusion most of the students is having. So we'll be resolving it, and I'll be having just a small introduction. Yeah, so any problem in between, okay, just message me because some technical issues are being going in the morning. So once again, good morning and welcome back to Unacademy, India's largest online platform where you're able to access the top educators at a single destination. So if you have not yet subscribed our channel, please do subscribe it for latest updates and notification. About me, I'm Liyamol Biju. I've completed my master's in English. Currently, I'm a research scholar. I've also completed my Bachelor of Education in English. I am experienced as a career counselor and more than 3 years of teaching experience. You can actually follow me on my Telegram group. And this is my Unacademy profile. See, at the bottom of the description box, there will be a complete idea, and you can follow me or there. So there's a description box which is being given. So you can go there and find it. So you get daily live classes, live tests, structured course, and unlimited access. You can also download the app from Google Play Store and from the App Store. This is like a subscription plan, like 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, and 36 months. See, uh, 36 months is a really good course for at your degree level and all. From the first year, from the very beginning, you can actually have a preparation test, and EMI options are available for all the enrollments. You can also use my code BIJU and get a fees waiver of 10% in any of your enrollment. And now onwards, we are having a separate channel for the optional courses, and almost every optional is being available. So use this opportunity and enroll yourself. Use my code BIJU and get a fees waiver on any of the subscription. Also, we are having a new program known as UPSC Compact. Like it's on 20th December. This is like a small competition where you're getting a lot of prizes. I have shared the link. I have sent a copy on the Telegram group. Also, the notes of all what we are discussing will be sent in the Telegram group. So this is all about it. We'll be starting the things. This is about the Unacademy platform classes. So this month classes I have not started it, but don't worry, I'll be starting it. I'll be usually like weekly current affairs sections starting up. I just had some health issues. That's why I was in a break. We'll continue. So you can also watch the recorded section us like ancient history through MCQ. So you get a complete idea on ancient history. And so I told you, as I already mentioned you, we are going to discuss the important concepts. So what all the things, which books you have to refer, which is the important source of information. So this is a lecture 1. So tomorrow onwards, the title of the course will be, that is medieval. Yeah, then I'll be giving subtopics also, don't worry. Sure, being so, this is like early medieval India, first topic. So important topics which we are going to see this here. I'm just writing here. Told you know this is like just like 45 minutes, 1 hour section, but it will be very useful. So you don't know what are the things you have to cover in history of medieval India. The first topic what we are going to do is early medieval India. So note down these topics. You can actually refer it also. Early medieval India. Then dynasties of North India. Dynasties of North India, which includes Palas, Pratiharas, and Rashtrakutas. Right, so this much thing you have to very clear with it. You will be covering it. Then other important topic is tripartite struggle. So this is in the form of an NCERT compilation. So whatever being discussed in the NCERTs will be discussed, and additional points will be discussed over here. Then this is tripartite struggle. Now, the next section what we will be discussing is terms of South India, which are the topics you must study here: Cholas, Cheras, and Pandyas. So these are the topics what we are covering under this medieval India. Next is Rajputs. So you should have a complete idea on Rajputs. So most of the students does not know what to cover in this medieval India. Right. So anymore, no confusions. These are the topics you have to cover, and these are the topics must cover topics. Okay. Then Rajputs. Then we have to discuss the era of Sultanate. Then major developments are the religion, economy, trade and commerce, like society, how the societies, what are the societies is. Then state of education. Then we have to discuss this Bhakti movement, like era of Sultanate, which also like advent of Turks in India. So how Turks had attacked India. So please note down these points. Yes, after a long time again classes. So please do note down the topics what I'm mentioning. These are the must cover topics in medieval India. Please don't skip it. Okay. Then of course we have to cover the next topic is Delhi Sultanate. Then we have to cover the regional dynasties. Some regional dynasties are there. So what are the main regional dynasties include Kashmir, Jaunpur, Bengal, Malwa, Mewar, Gujarat. So these are the then plus Vijayanagara Empire. The last things you have to cover here. Then Bahami Kingdom, advent of Portuguese. Then struggle for North India is another important topic. What will be covered here? Then consolidation of Mughal Empire, complete Mughal Empire. Why I am mentioning the first topics itself, why I am giving an introduction to those all the things you have to cover is, most of them don't know, seriously don't know what to cover in medieval India. You'll be reading that textbook, this textbook, and you ultimately know, you will be knowing bits and parts, not like that. This is like a structured order, and please do refer in this order, because if you're referring in an order, everything comes under your mind like a story. Then we'll be discussing all the kings. Then some Deccan states are there. Then we'll be discussing separately on Mughal administration, which is very important for your mains perspective. Then some regional kingdoms, and we'll be discussing some previous year question papers. So nearly like 13 topics, 13 to 14 topics you must cover in this portions. Okay, 13 to 14 topics. I hope you are clear with the topics. Why I'm mentioning all these topics means, please don't skip it. Only this much you have to cover, means because now when you are buying many textbooks, it having a lot of details, a lot of data will be given, so you will be confused, okay, whether I should cover all these things for the medieval India. See, no need. Whatever the topics I have mentioned here, this is only things what you have to cover, unless your optional is history. If you're in history, history is your optional, no, you have to cover some more area, so otherwise this is enough. So the next important question, which books to refer? Right? Medieval India by Satish Chandra. We'll be covering almost all topics here, but if you are having extra doubt or something, please do refer this textbook. No need of Ubendra Singh or somebody else. This is will do, and that is also basically there's an all the NCERT book is there of 11th standard, 11th standard NCERT, all the NCERT. Okay, by Satish Chandra. That is enough for your prelims plus mains. Once more, remember, if your optional is not history, right? So we'll be starting the section. This is like an NCERT compilation. That's what I've given the topic. So we'll be discussing important points in NCERT. Okay, then also I'll be discussing extra points. You know that whatever I'm taking, I cannot being a particular thing and all that stuff. So first thing what we are going to see is feudalism. Rise of feudalism. So early medieval India, we will be coming across a topic that is known as feudalism. So what do you mean by feudalism? Don't worry about the notes and all. I'll be sending it. I'll be updating it either by whatever being discussing here, either by the Telegram group. Now I'll be sending my personal notes, screenshots and all. So you get the notes, but you understand the concepts. So what is this feudalism is all about? So feudalism was a concept in Europe. Is there any Indian feudalism? When you come across feudalism, feudalism is a concept or a basic concept. Okay, basic concept of feudalism, you can understand it or you can analyze it or you can get it from the European version. Okay, but is there any feudalism what is being we are going to see in Indian feudalism? Yes, of course there is Indian feudalism, which is very different from that of the feudalism being discussed in the Europe. European feudalism is extremely different from Indian feudalism. Both are a different concept. Fine. I told you, don't worry, you might be confused. We'll be clearing it. So, if you have any idea about feudalism, you can actually discuss with me. Network issue, I think now it's clear, right? Yeah, I'm checking in between. I'm also checking what is going on now. Because I started the class in 8 o'clock and I had network issue, so I was supposed to start. Don't worry. For some days, at least for the time being, no, I'll be having might be two schedules like 8 a.m. or 7:30 a.m. That is the timing to 9:30. Maximum to 9:30, not more than that. Evening time will be like 5 to 6:30, and mostly this timing will be ulta, like if I'm taking the classes here, it will be 8 a.m. to 9:30, 5 to 6:30, and if it's an app also the timing will be same timing but in between. So in between sometimes we'll be taking 2 p.m. also. That I'll give you prior schedules and all. So first we are going to discuss upon the feudalism, right? Okay. So what you understand by feudalism? I think I need a paper. So that's why you get the notes, but you listen here carefully. So feudalism is actually a combination of legal and military advancement which flourished in Europe. in basically between 9th to 15th century. Okay, this is a time period. Don't worry, I have prepared notes and all, so you can refer it. I'll be sending it. This, since this is like a introductory lecture, that's why, but the rest notes will be there. So what is happening in feudalism? Lands. Okay, there are many pieces of lands in an area. This is an area. Please do listen it. This is a lands in an area. So if you have watched South Indian movies, especially of Tamil, Telugu or Kannada, you might have been seeing what a person will be there, a royal patronage will be there, and that person will be looking for an entire area. He will be taking care of that entire persons in that area. Any problem in the villages, you will go to that persons. Might be north also. I'm not that familiar with it. It was like a here in the system, king. Okay, king is here. King is granting or king is giving lands to the nobles. Then this nobles is again giving this lands to vassals. Vassals means, see, simply concept is you are taking lease. Okay, in agriculture field and all, you are going to cultivate the things. So what you have to you actually can get lands. Okay, you are taking leasing. For lease or something, you are taking a land from a particular owner, you are working upon it, you are cultivating things, and finally you are getting a small portion of the your hard work, and the rest of the portions will be given to the owner of the land, like pata system or pata system that is being called here in South. So such kind of system. Okay, that is the latest version of feudalism. Simply, I am your landowner. I am the king. Okay, will explain like this. I am the king. So I am giving my lands to an assistant, and I call him noble. Okay, noble again is giving the same land to another person, like small people or to a group of people, not one or two person, to many persons for cultivating or to do something with the land. And in return, you have to cultivate the land. You also have to support them with the military assistance if something happened with the military things. Okay, in this vassals, the last persons you are giving the land is vassals. Okay, this vassals can construct homage, or they can build small homes there, they can settle over there, they can look the land as their own, and they can work upon it. But ultimately, when you are getting the product, the final product, you have to give to the nobles. Nobles will come and collect it and will give a percentage. Noble will vassals will give a percentage to the nobles. Nobles will give the percentage to the king. So this system, which existed in Europe, is known as feudalism. Are you clear with the concept? Because if you are not clear with this concept, when we are discussing Indian feudalism and Indian land grant system, you will be confused. Fine, notes are being there. Don't worry about the notes and all, but listen to it very carefully. That is the basic things what you want. This is like an introduction class, that's why. So when you coming to Indian feudalism, okay, we are discussing about Indian feudalism. So Indian feudalism, the concept of Indian feudalism can be traced back to early medieval India, right? This is something like villages are becoming economically self-sufficient. Villages are becoming economically self-sufficient due to decline in urban and commercial activities. See what happened during the Gupta period. So you might be knowing about Gupta period, right? Gupta period is known as what? It was known as the golden age. But those who have attended my classes in the app where we discuss MCQ, you might be knowing that is what happened in the end of the Gupta period. It was like a complete turmoil. Everything has collapsed. So once everything was collapsed, you want to sustainability, like urbanization declined. Urban culture got declared in the Guptan period, at the end of the Guptan period, and the golden period also ended. So what happened? The villagers wanted to be self-sufficient, and they tried for that. So what happened means first century AD, very mention it, okay. During first century AD, the kings began to donate land to Brahmins. In Europe, it was nobles. Here, it was to Brahmins, and that is known as Brahmadaya. Brahmins, free lands was given to Brahmins. Free lands were given to Brahmins, and that system is known as, and that land grant system is known as Brahma. That system is known as Brahmadaya. Here, in Europe, it was king to nobles. Here, the land grant system began in 1st century AD, where Brahmins were being given free lands. Free lands were being given to Brahmins, and that particular system is known as Brahmadaya. Yeah, and it also given not only to the Brahmins, to religious institutions, for educational institutions and all. Not like the same educational institute what is being here, but some kind of educational institutions which were being existed over that time. The land were being given to it. Okay. And now the ownership of the land was given completely to Brahmins. Brahmins in turn given this land to other persons like the lower caste persons. Okay, what being the system. And here the Brahmins were given opportunity to collect revenue. So Brahmins started to collect revenue over here. Brahmins. So the kings granted lands to Brahmins, and they were free and they can collect the lands, and that system is known as, the name of that system is known as, or that land grant system is known as Brahmadaya. The system is known as Brahmadaya, that is tax-free villages to the Brahmins. Means here the Brahmins does not wanted to pay tax to kings. No tax. But in turn, Brahmins given this lands to some persons for cultivation or for pastoral lands, they collected revenue and they were able to collect. And in this system, the Brahmin does not wanted to give does not wanted to give tax to the kings, whereas one problem is here, that is Brahmins can collect revenue from the people, can collect revenue from lower people. I'm not mentioning lower caste people as, or their vassals. So when you coming to what is the reference in Mahabharata? There is a particular reference to it. Please do note it. Mahabharata is a small reference. It's known as Bhumidhana Prasama. This is a small reference which you can see in Mahabharata, which is being mentioned. It is known as Bhumi Dhana Prasama. So got the concept clear, right? Are you clear with the concepts? We'll be having a much better discussion tomorrow and all. Like this is like an introduction system. So I'll be introducing all the things what you ought to know. So this is like the Indian feudalism, and this is Anushasana Parva. Okay. Anushasana Parva of Mahabharata. There is an entire chapter. Anushasana Parva of Mahabharata. There is an entire chapter which is being discussing upon this Brahmadaya system or the feudal system. So that is one of the best references which says that there is a system existed here. So here what happens means kings has given lands to Brahmins, right? Means the system is known as Brahmadaya. They have direct control. They can have the direct control over peasantry. Now they are having a direct control over the peasantry. Then this everything like pastoral lands, what are being? So what are the type of lands given? Cultivable lands, pastoral lands, marshes, forests, everything's being given to the gifts. Okay. This is like the Brahmins forced. Now what happened means, before this system existed, who are the owners of the land? Peasants were the owners of the lands. Now the peasants got an intermediary. Peasants had a direct link with the kings. Now onwards, there is an intermediary, that is the Brahmins. Okay. Now they were forced to pay the peasants. I'll write in a way like kings. Brahmins, peasants, right? This group of peasants were forced to pay high amount of money, means pay heavy taxes. Pay heavy taxes to the Brahmins. Whereas the Brahmin does not want to pay a single penny to the kings. So this is the condition of Indian feudal system. In a European feudal system, this is Indian feudal system, okay. In European feudal system, kings given to nobles, nobles to vassals. From vassals, they will be collecting a tax, and nobles have to pay a tax to the king. Whereas this system, in Indian system, the Brahmins does not pay the tax to the kings in the beginning stages. Later, they were forced to pay. No, not the Brahmins, the other persons. Okay. So what happened means, not only the revenue system being transferred to the Brahmins, here administration also automatically turned to the Brahmins. So before this system, before this rise of the system, the entire system means the entire land was with the peasants. The peasants were the owners of the land. But now what happens? The Brahmins, the mediator Brahmins become the owners of the land, and they started to have control in administration also. Fine. So what are being discussing, no, please do make a note on it. The rest things will be having notes, okay? This is something what you understand. Instead of giving notes, you just want to understand. So I'll just give a small lecture on it. Please do make a note on it. Okay. With the growth of feudalism, community right on land diminished. With the rise of, I'll just make a note on it, what have been discussed it. Just write it. We already have a small note on what is feudalism, guess idea on it. Along with it, please do add this. With the growth of feudalism, community rights on land diminished, and the condition of peasants become, see, with the growth of feudalism, community rights on land diminished, and the condition of peasants okay, status, right? Instead of condition of peasants, you write status. Okay, that is better. Status of peasants were reduced to slaves. Fine. With the growth of, please do write a note on it. I'm mentioning it once more. With the growth of feudalism, community rights of land diminished, and the status of peasants were reduced to slaves. The middle order which emerged, peasants lost their right of land. Right of lands. With the growth of feudalism, community rights of land diminished, and the condition and the status were reduced to slaves. The middle order which emerged, the peasants lost the right of land. And the entire system also resulted in transfer of administrative rights to the Brahmins in particular, or rights to the Brahmins. So this is enough for you having understanding it. So we are going to see the features of Indian feudalism. So what are the first features of Indian feudalism? So political decentralization. Political features, when you discuss about the Indian feudalism, the first point, so we'll see the features of Indian feudalism. First thing, what are the things? Like emergence of a new group. So you can see a new group of emergence like Samantas, Mahasamantas, etc. So what happened? only before the feudalism began, only two groups were the kings, peasants. In between, what happened? Brahmins, lands were given to Brahmins, so they become the owners of the things. So new groups. So Brahmins started to collect revenue from the peasants. Again, this Brahmins given the rights to collect lands to some other people also, means in between peasants. So many mediatories started to emerge. That means which gave rise to the emergence of Samantas or Mahasamantas. Like they become politically they started to administrate. They become the new administration, new emergence. My handwriting is very bad, something. Shows of feudalism. Emergence of new political order. For example, Samantas and Mahasamantas. They were semi-autonomous in nature, and they were not fully autonomous, they were just semi-autonomous. Fine. And it resulted into emergence of a new class. It was already in India, that was a caste system. Now a class system has been emerged. Like there become many intermediaries which is halting the lands. Emergence of new class system. Okay. Then so they started to immobility. Immobility means agricultural agrarian structures change. There is a great change in the agrarian structure. What is a great change in the agrarian structure? That is, like before, it was being peasants who were the owners of the land. Okay, they don't have they have direct contact with the king, so they had to pay the taxes to the king. There was no intermediary. They were the owners of the land. Now, what happened after this system? The peasants were not the owners of the land. They were like what? They were like something who's being just doing work to the Brahmins or to other class people. And it resulted in immobility of the population, and therefore they started to have an isolation from the rest of the world. Immobility, this agrarian structure resulted in immobility, and which resulted in localized customs, localized languages. So what is the speciality of India? India, we are having 28 states with 28 languages. Right. Which standard textbook? 11th standard textbook. 11th standard, Satish Chandra. Please do refer it. I think you don't want any references and all. You can take the notes on it, but it's always better to read a textbook. That is a standard textbook. Unless your optional is history. If your optional is history also, you can go to that textbook. It is a wonderful textbook. So, got an idea of Indian features of feudalism, emergence of it. Okay, so this is feudalism. Hope you're clear with it, right? Any doubt regarding Indian feudalism, please do ask me right now. So, we'll be discussing some changes in the land grants. What is this land grants? Land grants. Land grants is simply that you are what we are doing right now. We are the owners of our land. We are paying a small tax to the government of India. Same way, please do note it. Same way, those people at the beginning stage, they were paying a tax to the kings, a direct taxes. But later, many local brokers, many intermediaries, many problems, a new system of land grant has been developed. You actually can see the evidence of this type of grand land system from Mauryas. It begins in Mauryas, okay. And which included the transfer of all the revenues and surrender of, like, what happens, the kings who are the real power of the owners of the land. Since there were many intermediaries, what happened? A new form of administration has been started, and as we mentioned, small samantas or mahasamantas, or the Brahmins. They were the Brahmins. In Indian, it was being given to the Brahmins, okay. Brahmins started to control. They have started, their own laws has been given instead of a common law. They started to control it, the things. Now what happens by the 2nd century AD? This was the condition. This begins in the 1st century AD after the breakdown of Guptas. And Mauryas, the period of Mauryas also, this system was being going on. And what happened in 2nd century AD? In 2nd century AD, king just had the control of only one thing. What was it? Salt. So this is how the situation was being going on. Fine. So the owner of the land has abandoned revenues, but also his right to govern the inhabitants of the villages were granted. So now village was being erased. Village had many villages. See, this Brahmadaya might be given, okay, for example, a king X or Y has given to a Brahmin 12 villages, okay. So what in turn this Brahmin has been doing is, he has this 12 villages, he given a 12 heads, and that Brahmin or that particular person will be asking, let it be Y. Y will be asking to this 12 persons or 12 village heads, okay, what is happening in the administration. So this village heads, they like feudal madambis, what we can say, okay, feudal madambi, that's the right word. They started to control, they started to administer the entire village. There is king is going on sideline, the main parties become these people. So they put their own role, they started to what? Torture the people indirectly, that was being happening. Okay, so this has been going on. And what happened means, the king was so good to the kind person, not once started, no, he started to give up all the revenue, he gave up his pastoral lands, he gave up mines, treasures, deposits, everything were being given to the Brahmins. Fine. Now what happened by the post-Gupta periods, okay, by post-Guptan period, the Brahmins were given rights to punish for the offences. Fine. So there was given authority for punishing for the offenses. Are you clear about all these things? What we were being discussing? Right? So we'll just go through what is being given. Okay, this source is Wikipedia only. Means what we discuss, not these things, okay. Feudalism is mostly likely to introduce to India when Kushan dynasty from Central Asia invaded India and introduced new policies of their own. The term Indian feudalism used to describe this like Thakudar, Samindar, Jagidar, Jatwals, Mayurgats, Sardar, Mankhari, Deshmukh, Chowdhury, so this were all being discussed. Okay, these were the different names which was being Indian feudalism being Indian feudals were being called like Thakudar, Samindar, Jagadar, Jatwals, Mulryats, Sardar, Mankhari, Deshmukh, Chowdhury, and Samanta. Fine. So this is a basic idea on Indian feudalism. So we'll be discussing, it's going almost 1 hour. No, we'll be just taking 1 hour section, not more than that today. Mm. Right, land grants and all. We'll be discussing the Gujarat Pratigara dynasty, second chapter. Fine. Before that, no, we'll see India's relationship with the rest of the world. India and world relations. This is the introductory lecture 1. So lecture 2 onwards, we'll be discussing it, and along with it, no, I'll be discussing MCQ. MCQs also will be discussed. This is NCERT compilation, right? But without all these things, you won't understand. So we'll be discussing this, and we'll be discussing almost everything. So like after these things, I think we'll be having a small discussion on this Gujarat Pratiharas and all. That is something being discussed in the NCERT. I'll be discussing it over here. Then the things what we discussed, Delhi Sultanate and all, since it's NCERT compilation, then we'll be discussing ancient India based on your NCERT and modern India. We'll have a completion of Indian history. Okay. So India and the world relations. We'll see what happened with Arabs. So when you consider Arabs, what is Arab specialty? So India and the world, we are starting with Arabs. Then we'll be having see what is India's relationship with East Asia. Then Arab invasion, Turkish invasions. Okay, so we'll be seeing that also. Then we'll be discussing with this North Indian things and all. North Indian dynasties, Arabs. So when you consider Arabs, Arabs are the primary group of population in the world. So Arab states, which are the Arab states? When you're coming to Arabs, we are discussing Arabs are a part of Western Asia. Arabs are not only the part of Western Asia, you can see them in African continent also. In Africa, there are Arabs, if you don't know. Western Asia, Northern Africa, Western Asia. Please do listen to India and the world relations. When you're coming to the Indian and world relation, you cannot apart this Arab population, which you can see in Western Asia, North Africa, and Western Indian Ocean Islands. So they are the most important populations in the world, and India have always had a trade relationship with this Western world or Arabs. They always had a relationship, good relationship. Still now we are having a good relationship with the Arab, no? Most of the Indian people are working in the Middle East countries. That doesn't mean Arabian countries like Bahrain, Saudi, Oman, Kuwait. So we always had a good relationship, and you can trace back the origin of this relationship into the past. So Arabs had a commercial and a close cultural relationship with Indians. You can trace back this evidence, or you can see this from pre-Islamic world. From the pre-Islamic world. See, this lecture you have to be very thorough with it. The next lecture and all will be notes will be provided. This lecture also, what I'm discussing, no, that points is being important. That's right. So usually, what we've been trading between it. Usually, we had a cultural and a trade exchange is being there. Commercialization. So simply you can see now we depend on Arabian countries for what? Fuel. Those times, that was in the past times, we had spices and other exotic tropical products which is being from India being exported to there, and we had imported coffee. Coffee, horses, etc. from the Arabian countries to India. And simply you can see that the Mediterranean products, we simply imported Mediterranean products from Arabian countries to India, whereas from India we exported spices and other exotic things. Here you can see that Arabs, until there was a Portuguese invasions to the India or the European settlement to the India, we had a great trade relationship with the Arabs. See, basically these Arabs were collecting spices and other things from India, and they were taking these things to the European world. Okay, so once they thought, okay, why can't we directly come and collect it? And there were Western settlements of Arabs, and they had a permanent settlement. Western coast had a permanent Arabian settlement. So when you saw, so basically Arabs were having shipments. They were conducting shipments in India. Later what happened? Arab had invasions in Syria, Palestine, Egypt, Persia and all. They set their eyes on India, and why they set the eyes on their India? Basically Arabs were like shipments people. How Delhi Sultanate being started here? See, shipment. So basically Arabs were like trading partners of India, but what happened? during Arab invasion, they started to invade the rest of the country, means the rest of the part, their neighborhood like Syria, Egypt, Persia. So automatically their eye fell upon India, which was rich and prosperous during that time. And the existing socio-religious or socio-cultural conditions helped the Arabs to invade India. See, after Guptan Empire, after Harshavardhan Empire and all, after Harshavardhan plus Guptan Empire, what happened? After Harshan Empire or Guptan Empire, the political condition become unstable. They had an instability or highly unstable political conditions. Okay. So this was one of the main reasons which led to the conquest of Arab conquest in India. And now we are seeing for the Arab conquest of Sindh. So Muhammad bin Qasim, 8th century, Arab invasions, Arab world was being ruled by Muhammad bin Qasim. Okay, this is the name of the caliphate, and Khalifa Walid one to conquer India. So Muhammad bin Qasim sent his Khalifa Walid one to conquer India. So what is the chief aim of? They were like religious fanatic. Okay, these rulers were religiously very fanatic. They wanted to strengthen Islam and punish those who refused to accept Islam. So see this, what led to the conquest of Sindh. Just discussing about what led to the conquest of Sindh. 8th century, especially the 8th century, Arab was being ruled by Muhammad bin Qasim. Okay, he sent his Khalifa Walid I to conquer India. He was a religious fanatic. What do you mean by religious fanatic? Who is intolerant of any other religion. What was the meaning? They wanted to convert every people to Muslim or Islamism. Okay, and they wanted to punish those who refused to accept Islam. This is the main agenda of this Arab world during 8th century. Main agenda to spread Islam. Don't think that I'm teaching something religious or something like that. Nothing like that. Okay, this is what is being happening, or this is what is being over the century. Fine. So this is led to the spread of Islam. Are you able to hear me? Any technical errors or something like that? This is what is being happening, or this is what is being over the century. Able to hear me, right? Are you able to hear me? And see whatever I'm writing. Able to hear me, right? Yeah, that's enough. It's tucked up, no issue. We'll be discussing it. My face is not important, right? So the content is more important. So what happened means, okay, fanatic rulers, fanatic Muslim rulers of 8th century wanted to spread Islam or convert the people to Muslim, or what they call as jihad. Whoever being against it, they wanted to punish, and those who refused to accept Islam, they punish them. Okay. So Muhammad bin Qasim sent Walid one. Caliph Walid one was being sent to here, India, to conquer India. First of all, he attacked Jabal. It is an ancient port city near Karachi. Now it is in Karachi. This Khalifa Walid one attacked Jabal. Okay. And he defeated Raja Dahir. So we are discussing the conquest of Sindh, Arab conquest of Sindh. So Khalifa Walid one was being sent to India, and he attacked Jabal, which is near to Karachi, and Raja Dahir was in charge of this port city, and he just died. The entire city was plundered. Mass killing. Those who refused to accept Islam was killed. Yeah, Dahir fought well, but he was defeated. And enormous wealth was looted, and which brought an end to the Hindu kingdom of Sindh. Hindu kingdom of Sindh got stopped, or it was the end of the Hindu kingdom of Sindh. Okay, simply once more, I'll just explain it. Please do write it. During the 8th century, the main aim of the Arab force, or Arabian, means Muslim countries, Arab countries, that is Islamic Caliphate, that is the correct word. The main aim of the Islamic Caliphate was to spread Islam and to punish those who refuse to accept Islam. Muhammad bin Qasim sent his general Caliph Walid I to attack India, who attacked Bibol, which is nearly Karachi, and Dahir fought against him, Raja Dahir, but he was brutally killed, and they also killed those who refused to accept Islam. Enormous wealth was looted, and which brought the end to the Hindu kingdom of Sindh. Fine. What happened once? What is the main agenda of Caliphate? Wanted to spread Muslim or Islam religion, right? So, what happened? As a result of this conquest, Islam was established. Islam was result. And what are the changes which happened in India? Islam was established of Sindh. Islam was established in Sindh. Due to the strong Rajput rulers, they were not able to reach to the Rajput area, but Sindh was being done. Give rise to Indo-Islamic culture. How Indo-Islamic culture? Two different cultures being united. They are being discussing everything. They are being going on with the things. So automatically rise to a new cultural things. Give rise to Unacademy, India's largest online. Are you able to tell me? Sindh. Okay. Simply once more, I'll just Okay, so the give rise to Indo-Islamic culture. Automatically it give rise to Indo-Islamic culture. You are being attacked by another enemy, and that enemy started to establish their kingdom on their own, and they are discussing the things, they are being discussing the cultural things and all. Automatically you will be getting affiliated to all those then, and you will be having a what? Mixture of culture. The Arab governors, even though they wanted to spread the Islam religion, beginning they started to punish, but Arab governors, they tolerated Hinduism. Okay, this also happened. Tolerated Hinduism. What do you mean by they tolerated Hinduism? They does not show any problem with the Hinduism. They did not persecute the people who were practicing this Hindu religion and all. Decimal system was introduced. New mathematics decimal system or new mathematical system was introduced. So these are all the basics of this. Fine. So you got an idea about it. So Muslim invasion of India. You cannot leave this, and you cannot study the medieval Indian history. It is very important. Medieval Indian history is being without them. Which was the year which was being Arab Sindh invasion? This is 712 AD. So what is the immediate cause of the invasion of Sindh? Was to punish the pirates or sea robbers, Dibol or modern Karachi. So Hajjaj, there is a person known as Hajjaj. Okay, you want to just remember his name, that's it. So I already told you Dahir, Dibol. Okay, they had an attack on Dibol, and Dibol is present day Karachi. They were not able to tolerate this. Dahir fighted over this, but what happened? So Dahir was not ready to pay for the fault of others, and soon expedition was sent against him. But apparently, his Indians killed a large number of. So in between the fight, Muslims also. Sindh also killed a large number of Muslim soldiers. Hajjaj, he was one of the soldier, prominent soldier. He was not able to tolerate all these stuff. So what he said, he sent another expedition. He has sent another expedition, and in that expedition only the people were being killed. So, but even though they had a cultural exchange things and all, no, they were not able to rule this properly. They always had a problem. Now we'll be studying this invasion of Muhammad bin Ghazni. So we'll have a discussion on tomorrow. So they had a cultural. So I hope you got an idea about it. Like this is 1 hour section. Shall we discuss some more like East India, African continent and all? Then we have to discuss other important invasions. Good morning. Invasion of Muhammad bin, result of Mahmud invasions. That is very important. Okay, invasion of Gori. These are the things what we are going to discuss right now. So you got an idea of conquest of Sindh. That is enough. Whatever we discussed is enough. Don't go and explore more because that is not useful. Fine. So the next thing what we are going to discuss is India and China. So India and China relation. Till now we are studying this Indian-China relation. So it is the being studied. So what happened? From India, one of the major religions being spread to China. Which is the major religion being, good morning, which is being spread to China, that is Buddhism. Buddhism being spread to the China. And you can see the evidence of contact between two countries in the early medieval period. The Vajrayana sect of Buddhism, also known as, which is being practiced still in the autonomous region of the Sindh. Okay, we discussed about Arab invasions. Don't think that we had stopped Arab invasion. We had to discuss like invasion of Mahmud Ghazali, very important. But like a relaxing point, we'll discuss India and China relation. Then we'll see this Arab invasions more detail. You get confused, that's why. So what happened? Tantric Buddhism which is being practiced. Tantric Buddhism is a type of Buddhism. It's also known as Vajrayana Buddhism. Tantric Buddhism is being practiced in the Tibetan region, in the autonomous Tibetan region, which is being very popular in China, is being spread from India. And you can see the evidences of Chinese and Indian travelers being traveling from India and China. Two important travelers you can notice, Faihan and as a Buddhist monk, and other one is Zhang. He also spread, he also lived here during this Harshavardhanan period and being there in India. So this is like the southern kingdom of Cholas also maintained a good relationship with Chinese rulers. You can see also Chinese coins. A lot of Chinese coins can be seen here from the past. So always we had a good relationship. Chola Navy. When you come into Chola Navy, we'll be discussing what is Chola Navy and all. Chola Navy has actually conquered Indonesia and Malaysia. So they had a trading relationship. They existed a trading relationship with China. Chola Navy has conquered Indonesia and Malaysia. So automatically they had a trade route with China. Fine. See what happened in regional recent past. What happened is Buddhism lost its importance in India, whereas Buddhism is still existed in China and it have more privileges in China. So to ASEAN countries and all, Buddhism spread from India. So we always have a cultural tie between India and things. So this is a relationship between India and so Al-Hajjaj. Important point, we already discussed who was Al-Hajjaj. In 1712 AD, attacked Sindh and ruled there. So that is Khalifa Walid I. Khalifa Walid I was given the duty to attack India. He ruled, and the governor who ruled was Al-Hajjaj. So this is all about the important significance. So we discussed about feudalism and the other things in detail, right? Feudalism being discussed. So what are the other invasions which is being very important? That is the Muslim invasions in India. Invasions of Mahmud Ghazani or that is the rise of TAS. We'll be discussing like mini expedition, results of Mahmud invasion, Al-Barani, etc. will be discussed. So, before we start Delhi Sultanate, we'll discuss this. Okay, why I'm taking till Delhi Sultanate, no? It gives you more idea. Results of Mahmud invasion, Al-Barani, etc. will be discussed. So, before we start Delhi, Delhi Sultanate, I'll be having a clear-cut discussion of what is this invasion of Mahmud, the Somanath things and all. So I thought to take some North Indian dynasties. No issues. I hope you're very clear with what we are being discussed, right? Till right now. So you can follow me on Telegram group. The notes will be sent. I think no much notes, only what is this feudalism and all. I'll be sending a writing. I'll be writing a new notes and I'll just send to you what you want. You hope the class is more than enough. You got so we'll be winding up this section. So tomorrow we can meet at 8 a.m. Fine, 8 a.m. Today some problem with the Indonesian. 8 a.m. to like 9:30, 10, 2 hours. Maximum 2 hours, not more than that. Or 7:30 to 9:30. No, not more than that. I won't be taking classes. I'm also fed up. So we'll have another 1 hour section evening, and MCQ sections will be started. Thank you and have a great day. Hope you're clear with the concept. I don't want to disturb you by taking a much more concept. You can follow me on the Telegram. Also get 10% discount on any of the subscription. Like use code BIJU. Have a great day ahead. Thank you. We'll discuss tomorrow. So I'll be giving the lecture name, and I'll be discussing the topics also, what we are going to do. Fine. Any doubts, you can post me on the Telegram group, right?